Then we will move on to item Q, which is our superintendent replacement search update. And I did hand out, I had an email that I didn't get my emails opened early enough, so I did have this and I forwarded on to Bob and Greg so they have an electronic copy. But from WASB, who is our selected search firm, and Dr. Richards, sent out both a service agreement, which essentially goes through the charges that they had listed with us earlier when we went through. So we're not committing ourselves to any specific amount, just simply what their charges will be and essentially what they can do for us. That's left yet to be developed, I guess. And then also he included the vacancy announcement information type of all of the search information that he's going to want to include on the position as it's listed. He does have our vacancy posted already, and it's a little generic listing that he has. He does have a closing date for applicants of, I believe, March 19th. Now, he does typically update that as we saw when we did the search and looked at the information he gave us. So he will be adding questions that the applicants will be responding to, and that will be used as part of the sorting out procedure they go through and getting us down to the candidates that we want to interview. So essentially, we need to probably have a meeting, and Bob was talking about the possibility of March 3rd, and that would that be able to be on that agenda, or should we have a separate time for that? Is that getting too much?
I don't know how long the meeting will be with.
I don't think it should be
half hour, 45 minutes. I would think everything should.
Probably.
And I think you're looking at a tentative timetable. You know,
right.
I shouldn't say a tentative, firm timetable. And
firm timetable. What more of our expectations are that we want to go through with him, kind of what we're expecting him to do versus what we'll be doing, a little bit of that with his timetable. That's the majority of it. One thing we did talk about, I spoke with Mary Ellen earlier tonight, and because she's had, both Mary Ellen and Gary went through the last search that we had so successful with hiring Bob, and Joan was fortunate enough to be on the interview group. Mary Ellen said that she would look into the search service vacancy announcement info. It's a lot of district demographic information, statistics, things that probably we gathered a lot last time and need to be updated. But she's very willing to kind of spearhead that and get all that information.
I'll work with you, Mary Ellen, on that.
Great.
If you want to get together sometime early next week.
That would be great. I think that's what he's looking for pretty much for that. And we can probably get that even out to him prior to this meeting so he has that information. I know one of the things he's going to want to look through is actually some of our strategic goal information, because that's how he's going to formulate those questions that he's going to put out there for candidates to answer. So maybe the basic goals we'll want to get to him too.
I think what he has there will be plenty for him.
I think that'll give him the direction.
I'm not sure
all we were doing was tweaking, and
right.
I think we get him the final, and we can either fax that or send it to him email so he's got it.
I think that's what he's really after. The finalized version, I don't think it won't matter so much to him as we develop those questions. I think he just needs the gist. Right. Okay. So I know Dr. Richards is gone until next week, Monday anyway, so probably March, how does March 3rd look for that?
I'm out of town.
Oh.
I have a conflict that I can try to clear.
I'm actually out of town too, but I can change it.
When I spoke with Mr. Richards, he will be back the night of the February 22nd, so he was available the rest of that week, and so I'm probably assuming, I don't know what his other schedule is like on beyond that, but certainly we can give him a date or two to pick up.
This expulsion hearing, it has to be before March 16th. Okay. And the only night of that time frame that does not work for Jim Quartermont is February 25th. So you could still do the same thing and have a regular board meeting and a special board meeting, or I mean, a special board meeting with an expulsion hearing, either before or afterwards.
How lengthy is our board policy? Can't we play around with that
You
agenda?
could do something with that one too.
When is
Because
that one
that one is Tuesday, March 9th, but if we can cut down the number of items that we review for board policy, that might work out for Tuesday, March 9th.
That's another option.
Is that getting too far out there, though, for the information that
Well,
Dr. Richards would need?
Right, I'm thinking if he's closing applications
Well, I
the
was looking for
19th,
the,
Yeah, we may have to separate. I think you're right.
I was looking for the expulsion
I think she
hearing.
was looking for the expulsion
By
and possibly
March
another
9th.
look at the budget.
Right.
Okay. Well, I think maybe we will have to separate things out. I am afraid.
If the 3rd works for everybody else, so Deb, I certainly can change plans. It's not a,
Okay.
It's not my phone.
Somebody's computer went to sleep.
Joan, you're out of town?
I leave out of town on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So if it's Monday, March 1st, I certainly am available.
How does that work? We're on a different night, but...
Monday, March 1st.
Monday, March 1st.
I don't see a pardon?
Monday,
Works for
March
me.
1st?
No, I mean,
Okay.
I can make that work.
Okay.
Works for you too, Jerry?
6 o'clock or?
That meeting
Yeah.
on March 1st is set to discuss.
To discuss the superintendent search. Will that be enough time for the strategic plan completion?
we can put it down and see what we can get done.
Okay, if we're done, we're done. If not, we'll go on. And then the expulsion.
And if we have any information on the literacy coach or whatever, we can put it on there.
Yes,
And
that'd be
if
good.
we don't have information, you can table it till the next
Okay.
meeting. Then.
So I just want to, so on Monday, March 1st, 2010, we'll be discussing the superintendent search. There will be an expulsion hearing, and you will also be discussing potential budget ramifications.
Okay. And I would suggest 6 p.m., if that's
Here?
okay. That'll give us enough time.
This facility?
And here?
Here.
Or
I
do
would
we
say
want to go?
so.
Okay. It worked well here, I thought, last time. So,
Do you want the special board meeting or the expulsion hearing first, or
probably the other first, do you think? I mean, that worked.
I'm thinking, oh,
The
he's
expulsion.
gonna come,
Yeah, they won't, for the expulsion, you'll designate 8 p.m. again,
I
or,
can do 8 p.m.
yeah.
that gives us plenty of time.
Because Dr. Richards will be
Dr.
coming
Richards
to
will
this
be
meeting,
coming
so
here.
6 o'clock would be a good time for
I
you
think
to
so.
be
Yeah.
here.
And we'll have plenty of time and can really make sure we're clear on all of it. And certainly we can maybe get him that strategic planning information we have, and he can maybe come prepared with a lot of things already, so.
In fact, Mrs. Buzzell, this just came today. When Sheila opened up, and maybe it is the same stuff.
It probably is. I think they were going to send a hard copy too.
Oh, it is the search service and
Okay,
agreement.
good. Okay. That fits for everyone. Good. Okay.